Superman?
Superman!
Superman?
Superman?
I have always hated Superman.
Say what?
He's a character that just seems too perfect and way too untouchable. But after watching this movie, I realized I might have been wrong about him my entire life. Let me explain.
Go ahead.
A character who never struggles, who never has to face failure, is a boring character to me.
Boring!
Some of the best stories I've ever seen are built around struggle. Characters who change, who go through something. Think of Eren from Attack on Titan, Batman, or even Spider-Man. They're flawed, conflicted, constantly battling something, whether it's the world, their past, or even themselves. That's what makes them human. But there's one character I've always thought lacked that, but happens to be so loved. Someone who, for the longest time, felt completely bland to me. That character is Superman. I have never been a Superman fan. Not as a kid, not as a teen, not even now really. Nothing about him ever pulled me in. He always felt like this character with no flaws, an almost invincible being who can't really be beaten, always morally right and always in control. He's just too perfect. So honestly, that made him boring to me. So whenever the topic of Superman came up between my friends, I low-key hate on him. Not out of spite, but just disinterest. Now I'll admit, that came from ignorance. I'm not a comic book reader or deep DC fan or anything like that, but from the outside looking in, that's how I always saw him. So for years, I ignored him. Superman just never clicked with me. He never felt real. But then James Gunn happened. James Gunn, the guy who made me care about a talking raccoon and a tree, was now rebooting the entire DC universe, starting with Superman. And for the first time ever, I was curious. Gunn has this way of taking characters people overlook and making them human. If anyone could make me care about Superman, it was him. So I hit up a couple of friends, booked some tickets, and went in with one simple question. Could this finally be the movie that makes me understand Superman?
Well, let's see.
I'll be honest, I didn't walk in expecting much. I figured it would be another CGI slugfest, a few heroic speeches, and the same invincible Superman I've seen 1,000 times. But what I got was different. From the very beginning, the movie felt grounded. It wasn't just another superhero film trying to be epic, it was personal. It was quieter, more thoughtful, and it caught me off guard in the best way. Superman wasn't a symbol of power anymore. He was a man trying to stay hopeful in a world that had already given up. Superman is this character who sees things black and white, trying to operate in a gray world filled with politics, propaganda, and corruption. Every decision he made came with consequences, and you could feel that weight on him. Then it hit me halfway through the movie. He's not perfect because he never fails. He's perfect because he keeps trying in a world that keeps testing him. And so for the first time, I wasn't watching a god. I was watching a man who refuses to stop believing in people, even when people stop believing in him. It wasn't about the powers. It was about his mindset, that resilience, that constant choice to be good even when it's hard. And I think that's what I needed from Superman. Not the action or crazy stakes, but what this movie delivered in art. There's this scene where Superman saves a woman from a collapsing building. He comes out the rubble covered in dust and just looks to make sure she drove off okay. There's no glory, no applause, just genuine compassion. And honestly, he's like that throughout the entire movie. You can tell this version of Superman cares. He's not trying to prove anything, he's just doing what's right because it's who he is. And I think that's why this movie hit me so hard. Because lately I've been trying to hold on to that same idea, trying to stay hopeful when things don't go right. There are days where it feels easier to give up, to stop caring, to just check out. But watching Superman still choose hope, to still show up even when the world doesn't make it easy, it's honestly inspiring. It really makes me want to be a better person, to really lock in on my goals even when it's difficult. And just when I thought I figured this movie out, then came Lex Luthor, the human mirror to Superman. He's everything Clark isn't. Jealous, fragile, obsessed with control. And that's when it clicked for me. Maybe the real problem was never Superman being too perfect. Maybe it was me, I just couldn't see myself in him. However, this movie changed that. It showed how people, myself included, project their insecurities onto him. Lex doesn't hate Superman because he's good. He hates him because he isn't. He's everything Lex wishes he could be. And that's why this line from Superman hit me so much harder. I'm as human as anyone. I love, I get scared. I wake up every morning and despite not knowing what to do, I put one foot in front of the other and try to make the best choices I can. I screw up all the time, but that is being human, and that's my greatest strength. And by the time the credits roll, the last thing we see is Superman watching his parents. Not his Kryptonian ones, but the humans that raised him. Just two normal people proud of their son. And I think that solidified it for me. I was wrong about the character. After years of hating on him, thinking he's boring or even a bad character, after all those years, I feel like I can finally say, I get Superman. This movie honestly felt special. For years, people said Superman was too perfect to be interesting, and I agreed. But this movie proves it was never about perfection in the first place. It's about making the right choices when it's hard, when it's messy, and when it'd be easier to quit. That's what made him feel real to me for the first time. So I started this video saying I hated Superman, that he was too perfect to care about. But now I think that's exactly what makes him special. He represents the part of us that keeps believing. Now, am I a full-blown Superman fan after this? I wouldn't go that far, at least not yet. But if this is the direction they're taking his character, if this is the Superman we're going to keep getting, then yeah, I can definitely see myself becoming one real soon. So after watching this, I finally understood why Superman matters. And that got me thinking, how many other stories, characters, or even hobbies have I written off before actually giving them a chance?
That's a good question.
That's what I want to make this channel about. I'm going back to the shows, movies, stories, and maybe even hobbies I used to ignore or flat out hate and seeing if I was wrong about them too. Whether it's anime, superheroes, or the classics I missed, I want to find out why people love what they love. So if you ever had a story surprise you the way this one surprised me, subscribe because we're just getting started.